How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. We are back for another episode, and the title says it all. The party is over, because it looks like Thomas Partey is going to be leaving Arsenal. They're not going to be renewing the contract. Only a few weeks ago, it looked like he was actually going to sign a new deal. When you were looking at some of the reports and what was being spoken about, it was very evident that Arsenal wanted to lower his wages. He was willing to accept that. And we were looking to continue. Been at the club 5 years and looked like he was going to, be here for a couple more years at least. At the time when all of that was being spoken about, I said that I felt it was probably the right thing to do, given the fact that Jorginho's gone now, Zubamendi's just coming in. It gives us that bit of experience and that bit of knowledge and, that ability to, be able to work with Zubamendi, rotate when needed, and ultimately be a good backup, because that's what he would be. Whether people like to hear that or not, that's just the reality. I know he had a decent season last year. I know in terms of performances and how many he actually accumulated, it was good, which is very unlike Thomas Partey and has been over the 5-year period that he's been at the club. And when I was looking at some of the statistics earlier on in terms of the Premier League, last season was only the second time he has played more than 30 games in a season. So 3 out of the 5 seasons, he hasn't played even 30 games. Injuries has been a big problem. And when you look at the player we bought from Atletico Madrid, he had 3 seasons before he joined us where he was consistent and he was ever present and he was really good. And there was a couple of years before that where similar to us in many ways. But yeah, it's one of those. I look at it and I think to myself, is it the end of the world? No. Can we replace him? Yes. Is it ideal? No. Given the situation that we find ourselves in with other players in other areas and what we need to do, and you don't want to take up any more of the budget and take a chunk out of this to go into that. And yeah, there's been a lot of talk about, could we possibly move, Miles Lewis Skelly into the midfield, which is his more natural position? The answer is no. I don't think that the right thing to be doing now is doing that. Miles Lewis Skelly has established himself as a quality fullback. Why would you change that? He's still only 18 years old. He's still got a lot of learning and he's still got plenty of time if midfield is ultimately where he wants to be. But listen, if you want me to give you a player to use as an example to not chase where you preferably would like to go when you've got an opportunity in your hands, it's probably Maitland-Niles. He had a big opportunity at Arsenal. Could have took the right back slot. If you remember at the time, I think it was Bellerin and whatnot were injured, and he could have gone there and made it his own. But he moaned about, I want to be in midfield and everything else. And lo and behold, and you go and look where he plays every week now. He's a right back. So yeah, I'm sure that's something he probably regrets. But listen, that's a long time ago. Listen, so, I'm just looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, don't make the same mistake. Let Miles Lewis Skelly continue doing what he's doing, play where he's playing, and growing the way he's growing. So yeah, back on to Thomas Partey. From what we're hearing now, and listen, it's not just rumours and a few people, Fabrizio Romano and whatnot have, spoken about it and, put, tweets out or whatever you call them now on X. I still call it Twitter, but it looks like that Thomas Partey wants a pay rise. I don't know what's happened there when we heard that. Yeah, it's just all mad, isn't it? But you're not going to get a pay rise. 32 years old. Arsenal are just not going to do that. And I'm not really taking last season too much in context with the games that he played. You can't be going and spending over 250 odd, 300 odd thousand, whatever it is he wants to be what is effectively a second player behind Subamendi. That's the reality. I've said that. So yeah, it's a difficult one because of what we're going to do in terms of business and who we're going to, ultimately bring in. Will it affect us in other areas with the budget? Like I said, people have talked about Miles Lewis-Skelly. Can't see it. Yeah, it's a strange one. I'm all for, Partey staying if it was the right, overall package, shall we say. I wouldn't have a problem with it. And I'm saying that like it's my money, but it's not. And it's Arsenal and it's not our money. We shouldn't be too worried. But I get what the club are saying. The overall package has to be right because you don't want to go wasting a load of money. If we went and agreed to it and said, you know what, we're going to give you a pay rise. We're going to give you 250 grand or whatever it is. I don't even know what he's on at the moment. I think it's near enough that anyway. But we're going to give you a pay rise. And then he sits on the bench for a lot of the time next season and he's second choice to Subamendi. He's getting his cake and eating it. And I get it. If over the last 5 years he was irreplaceable, unbelievable, I get it. But he's not been. And I don't really think he's lived up to his full potential at the club and the player that we bought. And I'll be honest with that. I genuinely, when we signed him, I was buzzing. I was like, oh, wow, we've waited for so long for a player like this. And his nickname is the Octopus because he just reaches for the ball all over the place. But I just don't see it. I just haven't seen it. Not enough anyway. And ultimately, you got to think, why did we bring Declan Rice in? And I know we've, reverted him into this like number 8 type player more than a 6. You get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's a strange one. I like I said, I'm not opposed to him staying, but not on the same wages or more. It would have to be less. And probably, I'd say, a year's contract with the option of a further year. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I'll be interested to see what people think. I know he has a very, very loyal following, and no doubt I'll probably get people having a go at me and saying, how dare you disrespect him? But I'm not disrespecting him. I'm just saying it how it is. At the end of the day, I don't think he's lived up to the expectation when we signed him from Atletico Madrid. I don't think he's shown us anywhere near the type of player that we signed from Atletico Madrid. And like I said, 3 seasons out of 5, he hasn't even managed near 30 games in a Premier League season. That's simply not enough. Not over the 5 years anyway. I think he's played about 130 odd games. He's missed a lot of games for injury. A lot of games. So I'm not against the club selling him. Well, I'm not even saying selling him. getting rid of him, letting him go, whatever you want to call it. Contract expired. Bye-bye. Out the door. See you later. Whatever way you want to word it. But yeah, listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is. We move. So let me know in the comment section whether you agree or disagree. What do you think? And yeah, it's an interesting one. So let me know in the comment section. Do you know, are you happy about this or are you not? Yeah, we'll wait and see. Ain't been confirmed yet. Let's remember that. So yeah, we'll wait until it officially is. But you know what to do if you haven't already. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot very soon. I'm out of here.